Hello everyone, now let us discuss about one compartment open model IV infusion. So what is the need for IV infusion? The rapid IV injection is unsuitable when the drug has a potential to precipitate toxicity. In that case, IV infusion is required, and also when there is a requirement of maintenance of stable concentration or amount of the drug in the body. Even in such case also IV infusion is required. Examples are antibiotics, theophylline, procainamide, etc. And in case of IV infusion, the rate of duration is much longer than the half-life of the drug in general. Coming to the advantages of IV infusion, it has a ease of control in the rate of infusion to fit the individual patient needs. Fluctuations in the plasma concentration are minimized, which is ideal for drugs with narrow therapeutic index. Other drugs, electrolytes and nutrients can be conveniently administered simultaneously by same infusion line in critically ill patients. These are some of the advantages offered by IV infusion. Now coming to the schematic representation of IV infusion rate model. So this is the drug, R0 is the infusion rate, and the infusion rate follows zero order infusion rate, and this is the blood and other body tissues because this is one compartment model, and this is elimination rate constant. So this is the overall representation of one compartment open model IV infusion. At any given time during infusion, the rate of change in the amount of the drug in the body dx by dt, which is given by rate of change is given by dx by dt, is equals to R0 minus Kex. And if we integrate and rearrange the above equation, we get x is equals to R0 by Ke 1 minus e to the power of Ket, where x is the amount of the drug, R0 is the infusion rate, Ke is the elimination rate constant, and T is time. And we know that amount of the drug in the body is equals to volume of distribution and into C. C is nothing but the concentration at plasma concentration of the drug. The above equation, x is equals to Vd into C. The above equation can be transformed into concentration terms as follows. The equation x is equals to R0 by Ke into 1 minus e to the power of minus Ket can be transformed into concentration terms based on the relationship of x is equals to Vd into C. So C is equals to R0 by Vd into Ke into 1 minus e to the power of minus Ket, because x is equals to Vd into C. And we also know that volume of distribution into elimination rate constant is nothing but total clearance. So C can also be written as C is equals to R0 by total clearance, CLT, into 1 minus e to the power of Ket, because total clearance is equals to volume of distribution into Ke. So these two equations are important. Usually at the start of constant rate of infusion, the amount of the drug in the body is zero. Hence, there is no elimination in the beginning at the start of constant rate of infusion. But as the time passes, the amount of the drug in the body rises gradually. The elimination rate is less than the rate of infusion until a certain point at which the rate of elimination will be equal to rate of infusion, and the concentration of the drug in the plasma reaches a constant value called as steady state concentration or plateau phase or infusion equilibrium. A point at which the rate of elimination is equals to rate of infusion, that point is called as or that concentration is called as steady state concentration, or that point is referred to as infusion equilibrium. And at steady state concentration or at steady state, the rate of change in the amount of the drug in the body is 0, because elimination rate is equals to the infusion rate. Rate of output is equals to rate of input. The rate of change in the body is 0. So dx by dt is equals to 0. That is nothing but dx, as we all know, dx by dt is equals to r naught minus kex. But at steady state, XSS is nothing but the amount of the drug in the body at steady state. SS is nothing but steady state. So dx by dt is equals to 0. So that is equals to r naught minus KEXSS. So by that we can see, we get the equation r naught is equals to KEXSS. And similarly, we can transform the above equation in concentration terms by the previous principle. Using x is equals to Vd into C, we can calculate the concentration at steady state. CSS is equals to R naught by Vd into Ke. At steady state concentration CSS is equals to R naught by Vd into Ke. And similarly, we know that Vd into K is equals to total clearance. CSS is equals to R naught by total clearance. So this equation is also important. In the previous slide, we have discussed the equations for calculating C, and for CSS, this is the equation. CSS is equals to R naught by Vd into Ke, or CSS is equals to R naught by total clearance. That is nothing but infusion rate by total clearance. These equations are particularly important in determining the following parameters. By using this equation, if you know the steady state concentration and infusion rate, we can calculate the volume of distribution, elimination rate constant, and total clearance also. Elimination rate constant is calculated by graphical method that we will be discussing in the further session. So as we know that XS is nothing but amount of the drug in the body at steady state concentration, and CSS is equals to concentration of the drug in plasma at steady state concentration. Now this is the plasma concentration time profile for infusion rate. As you can see, this is time and this is plasma drug concentration, and this is the infusion rate. Initially, the infusion rate, at the beginning of the infusion rate, the elimination is 0. So gradually, as the time passes, the amount of the drug in the body rises and it reaches a certain point at which the rate of elimination is equals to rate of infusion, and this point is nothing but infusion equilibrium, and the concentration at which this point is reached is called as steady state concentration. So this is the plateau phase at which rate of input is equals to rate of output, and this concentration is called as steady state concentration. And if we plot, this is a regular plot, and when plotted on a semi-logarithm plot, and this point yields a straight line whose slope is equals to minus Ke by 2.303. By plotting on a semi-logarithm plot, we can calculate the elimination rate constant using its slope. So we get a straight line whose slope is equals to minus Ke by 2.303. Here one more important point is the time to reach the steady state concentration. The time to reach the steady state concentration is dependent upon the elimination half-life and not the infusion rate. Here you can see the rate of infusion is R0, and in the next graph or next curve it is infusion rate is 2R. An increase in the infusion rate will merely increase the plasma concentration attained at the steady state. It will merely increase the plasma concentration attained at the steady state. But the time to reach the steady state, it is dependent on the elimination half-life and not the infusion rate. So this is an important point to remember. And the value of Ke, as we have discussed earlier, can be obtained from the slope of a straight line obtained after semi-logarithm plot of log C versus T. And alternatively, elimination rate constant Ke can be obtained from the data collected during the infusion to steady state as follows. We all know that the term C is equals to R naught by total clearance into 1 minus e to the power of minus Ket. So C is equals to R naught by total clearance into 1 minus e to the power of minus Ket, and CSS is equals to R naught by Vd into Ke, that is nothing but R naught by total clearance. So by equating these two, we get C is equals to CSS into 1 minus e to the power of minus Ket. Here minus Ket is only there. Please remember that 1 minus e to the power of minus Ket. By rearranging the equation, we get CSS minus C by CSS minus C by CSS is equals to e to the power of minus Ket. And transforming into log form, we get log CSS minus C by CSS is equals to minus Ket by 2.303. Using this equation, log CSS minus C by CSS is equals to minus Ket by 2.303. If we plot a semi-log plot of Ke versus time, that is log CSS minus C by CSS versus time, you get a straight line whose slope is equals to minus Ke by 2.303. By this method also we can calculate the elimination rate constant. And as we have discussed earlier, the time to reach the steady state concentration, it is dependent upon the elimination half-life of the drug and not on the infusion rate. An increase in the infusion rate will merely increase the plasma concentration attained at the steady state. So, if n is the number of half-lives passes since the start of infusion, we know that the term C is equals to CSS into 1 minus e to the power of minus Ket. We get C is equals to CSS into 1 minus half to the power of n, where n is the number of half-lives. So one more important point is the percentage of steady state concentration achieved at the end of each half-life. The percentage of steady state concentration achieved at the end of each half-life is equals to the steady state concentration at previous half-life plus concentration of the drug remaining after a given half-life. This is an important point. The percentage of steady state concentration achieved at the end of each half-life is CSS at previous half-life plus concentration of the drug remaining after a given half-life. For example, initially a dose is given. So after first half-life is nothing but the time required to reach 50% of the concentration of the drug. So after first half-life, the percentage amount of the drug remaining CSS is 50%. So 50% the percentage of drug achieved is 50%. After the second half-life, so there is a drug accumulation concept. For further reference, you can refer the drug accumulation video. In that, the accumulation of the drug is clearly explained. As of now, so after second half-life, 25 is nothing but the amount of the drug remaining from the first half-life, and 50 is the additional amount of the drug that is given in the form of a constant IV infusion. So after second half-life, the percentage of CSS reached will be 50, that is concentration of the drug remaining after a given half-life, plus CSS at previous half-life. So that is 75%. And similarly, after third half-life, so 12.5% will be from the first one, and 25% will be from the second one, and 50% will be from the third. So the percentage of CSS reached will be 87.5%. Similarly, after fourth half-life, it will be around 93.75 and so on. And for the therapeutic purpose, more than 90% of the steady state drug concentration in the blood is desired, which is reached in 3.5 half-lives. So in order to reach more than 90% of the steady state, we require 3.5 half-lives of a drug. And it takes 6.6 half-life for the concentration to reach 99% of the steady state concentration. From this, we can conclude that shorter the half-life, sooner will be the steady state reached, because the time required to reach the steady state concentration, it is dependent upon the half-life of the drug and not on the infusion rate. So in certain cases, a loading dose is required in addition to the infusion. So for drugs which have longer elimination half-life, it takes a longer time to reach the steady state concentration. For example, phenobarbital requires 5 days to reach the steady state concentration. And such drugs, they may have subtherapeutic concentration initially. And in order to overcome, a loading dose is given. A loading dose which is large enough to yield the desired steady state concentration immediately upon the injection before the starting of the infusion. Loading dose very large enough to yield the desired steady state concentration immediately upon injection is given before the start of infusion. And immediately after the loading dose is followed immediately by the IV infusion at a rate enough to maintain the steady state concentration. This is particularly important for the drugs which have longer elimination half-lives. So here you can see this is the amount of the drug in the body and this is the half-life. Initially, at the start of infusion rate, for the drugs which have longer half-life, it takes a longer time to reach the steady state concentration. So in order to overcome that, a loading dose very high, so large enough, the loading dose large enough is required to reach a steady state concentration immediately after the injection is given. So this is the loading dose, and progressively there will be an exponential fall in the loading dose. For that reason, a loading dose is immediately followed by the IV infusion in order to maintain the steady state concentration. So this is the asymptomatic rise in infusion rate, and this is an exponential fall in the loading dose. Both of them are given. Loading dose plus infusion rate is given in order to maintain a steady state concentration. So loading dose. Here we'll see, as we all know, X is equals to C into VD. So here X in terms of loading dose. So X0L is the loading dose is equals to CSS, concentration at steady state, into volume of distribution. Please note this equation. X0L is nothing but loading dose. Loading dose is equals to CSS into volume of distribution. And CSS is equals to R naught. The relationship between infusion rate and steady state concentration is CSS is equals to R naught by KEVD. So based on that, loading dose X0L is equals to R naught by KE. Loading dose is nothing but infusion rate by elimination rate constant. The equation describing the plasma concentration time profile following simultaneous IV loading dose, that is nothing but IV bolus, and constant rate IV infusion. So here we'll discuss about a case where both IV bolus, that is loading dose, and infusion rate are given. In such cases, plasma concentration C is equals to, it is the sum of those two equations. We know that for IV bolus, C is equals to X0L, X0 L by Vd into e to the power of minus KT plus R0 by Vd into Ke into 1 minus e to the power of minus Ket. Here also minus Ket is only there. So this is the equation for IV bolus and this is the equation for IV infusion. And in this equation, if we substitute these terms, we know that X0 L, loading dose, is equals to CSS into Vd. So here in place of X0, if we place CSS into Vd, Vd and Vd gets cancelled. And similarly, we know that R0 is equals to CSS into KEVD. In place of R0, if we place CSS KEVD, here the terms KE and VD get cancelled. And e to the power of minus KET and e to the power of minus KET also get cancelled. And finally, we get C is equals to CSS, indicating the concentration of the drug in plasma remains constant throughout the infusion rate. Please remember e to the power of minus KET, not simple KET. So those are the equations that are employed to determine the plasma drug concentration after IV infusion. And now coming to the determination of parameters. We all know that the value of Ke can be obtained from the slope of straight line obtained after a semi-logarithm plot of log C versus T. Here slope is equals to minus Ke by 2.303. And similarly, the apparent volume of distribution and total systemic clearance can also be obtained from the steady state concentration from these equations. CSS is equals to R0 by Vd into Ke. And similarly, total clearance can be determined by CSS is equals to R0 by total clearance. And non-compartmental models. Using non-compartmental model also, based on area under curve, we can determine the parameters. AUC is equals to T into R0 by Vd into Ke, where T is the infusion time. Similarly, total clearance can be calculated by T into R0 by total clearance. So these are the equations from which we can determine the parameters such as volume of distribution, elimination rate constant, and total clearance. By this, we complete the one compartment open model IV infusion. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for further videos on biopharmaceutics and pharmaceutical sciences.